C'est bien. Merci. Bien, bonjour tout le monde. Merci merci d'être là présent à cette séance ordinaire numéro 2 du 24 février 2026. So this is a regular meeting of February 24th, the second meeting of the month at 5 p.m. We're at the council chamber in Lennoxville. And I'm acting president again today because Mr. Collins isn't here today, so I'm acting president. Donc je remplace Monsieur Bert Collins à la présidence durant son absence. Donc, ouverture de la séance, adoption de l'ordre du jour. L'ordre du jour, il n'y a pas de changement, est adopté tel quel. So, opening of the meeting and adoption of the agenda. The agenda is adopted as is. Lecture et adoption du procès-verbal numéro 1 du 27 janvier. Il est accepté tel quel. Il n'y a pas de modification de demander sur 3.1. So 3.1 is a reading and adoption of the minutes of meeting number 1 of January 27th, 2026. And it's adopted as is. There's no changes made to it. So we're up to number 4, which is a public question period. Donc, on est rendu au numéro 4, qui est la période de questions du public. Donc, s'il y a des gens dans le public qui veulent se présenter et poser des questions, c'est le temps. Just lift your hand. Yes. It's because you recorded, so just state your name and either if it's a personal inquiry, you name your street, or if it's for an agency or a nonprofit, you can name the agency you represent as you present yourself, so we can handle it.
Perfect. So my name is Nancy Beatty, and I'm here with 2 hats on. One as the director of the Lennoxville District Women's Center, and the other as a member of the CCL, which is the Community of Lennoxville, which is all the community organizations that serve the population directly. So first and foremost, on behalf of the CCL, I'd like to invite the Borough Council members to our next meeting, which will be Thursday, April 9th. The members of the CCL would love to have an opportunity to exchange with you and just share some of their preoccupations and perhaps hear your priorities, as well as an informal meeting with the community group. So that's Thursday, it'll be a Thursday afternoon at 30.
Okay.
I don't know which of the community organizations will host it, but one of the organizations will host that meeting in town.
Do you have a location?
That's where I'm not sure which of us will host it. It might actually be at the Women's
Center. So I imagine we'll receive an official invitation.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But I thought I'd put it on your radar now, because I know agendas get filled up quickly. Yes. And so the sooner you know, the more likely we might be able to have you present with us. The other thing I would like to do is to thank the council for the support that was given for the launch of the community meal project. We had our first community meal at the end of January. Roughly 35 people were present, and literally from toddlers right up to senior citizens. It was a really lovely cross section. It was held at LES, so LES allowed us to be there with no charge. And I would say the meal was relatively well enjoyed by all community members who were present. There were board games, there was a vision board that was done. It was really lovely to see people interacting who don't normally interact. So thank you to the council for that. The next date is to come. And then the final issue that I'd like to raise to your attention, which I'm sure you're well aware of, is the parking. Parking in Lennoxville is getting very, very difficult, particularly at the community hall here. Last week, our senior ladies group had about half of the usual participants because many of them were not able to park close enough to walk to the building, especially with snowbanks and icy conditions. So I'd like to bring to your attention that there is a serious problem with parking. I think the overflow from the campus is a big part of that problem. So I don't know if there's been an exchange with the university, but I think some solutions need to be found relatively soon. The parking issue in town.
So the parking problem you're identifying is for Amédée-Baudouin access, right?
Specifically Amédée-Baudouin, but we're also seeing, the streets being taken up, and even private parking. I know there's a problem because students are parking a little bit all over town and then walking into town and walking to campus. So it may be other situations as well, but certainly at Amédée-Baudouin, it is very much a problem during the daytime. So there needs to be a system of passes that are issued for activities that are going on. Younger people can walk really easily from the business, but the senior citizens, unfortunately, is going to prevent them from participating And I'm sure other seniors groups that are using that are probably having a similar situation with their activities as well.
So one thing you can do, and I'm telling this to everybody, is that if you identify a car who's parking there all day, when we know it's limited time parking, you can call the police, okay, and they'll come by and start ticketing. So that's I would say, where you can get involved. What we're going to look into, and we had this discussion previously, is that we should get a service in place to take care of the problems, because you're not the only guys that are talking to us about this. And I know it's becoming worse, and what you stated that about the students is something that we really noticed too. So we'll have to see what, as a city, what we can do with that is either get a guard or something that's gonna do the task there. I know there's somebody doing it in downtown Sherbrooke, but we could maybe extend to here. I don't know. We'll have to look into that. So your request is registered, and we'll get back to you on that. See what actions can be taken for that purpose.
Thank you very much.
Je peux peut-être faire en français, c'est que Mme Beatty nous a commencé par le problème de stationnement qu'on a au centre-ville. Donc, il s'agit de quelque chose de nouveau, c'est que les étudiants commencent à prendre plus de place en ville, donc il y a un peu d'abus. Ce que j'entends, c'est qu'il y a des étudiants qui stationnent plus que les nombres d'heures permis. Donc, on va voir, nous autres, de notre côté, si on peut faire quelque chose à la ville, mais j'ai quand même recommandé à Mme Beatty, si elle identifie une voiture en spécifique, si vous voyez quelque chose de spécifique, que vous pouvez rapporter à la police. Puis ça, la police va venir, puis ils vont faire une intervention si c'est le cas. Donc, j'encourage les gens, s'ils reconnaissent qu'il y a des situations comme ça, de les identifier à la SPS. About the other comments, on a eu un remerciement pour notre support pour le community meal qu'il y a eu à LIS. Puis je dois m'excuser, j'avais un autre événement, j'ai pas pu aller, mais c'était sur mon agenda. Puis le 9 avril à 13h30, on est invité à une rencontre avec le Centre des femmes, hein? Donc le Conseil.
Non, pas le Centre des femmes, le comité de concertation des organismes communautaires de données.
Ah, OK, c'était un autre niveau.
Oui, mais c'est toutes les organisations.
Parfait.
C'est juste le lieu, ça se peut que ça va être le Centre de femmes.
Merci pour la précision. Okay. Anybody else? Go ahead.
Hi, Jennifer Garfitt, from Viewpoint. I have a question. In November, I had asked about the Facebook change from Explore Lennox to Mole Lennox. And there wasn't any activity like from December to about last week, but now it started again and it's back to Mole Lennox. I just wondered if there was any reason why, I know that it was a decision made in Sherbrooke, but they didn't take your.
Yeah, we had the same question. I'll let François, Mr. Gilbert answer.
We had, yes. No, I don't have to turn the mic on. I don't turn the mic on?
No.
Yeah, we had the meetings with the people and we had a discussion and they were actually sitting right here when we brought it up. It's supposed to be going back to My Lennoxville, but Facebook being Facebook, you can't change the name of a page as often as you want. So that apparently there's a delay of, I don't know.
2 months.
2 months, so.
2 months, but I thought that when they stopped it and because they were planning to change it back in February, because December to February would have been 2 months.
That's when they changed it from Explore Lennoxville to.
Mole Lennox, but now it's back to Mole Lennox. So it will be another 2 months then before they.
That's what we
That's the
were told.
excuse we got. Yeah.
That's what we were told.
To be patient. That's
And
what
when was the meeting?
not long ago,
Well, it was actually
2 or 3 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, so.
March, maybe sometime in April or what?
Yeah, if we're lucky. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
so, but they are aware of it and we were very specific and we were very clear that
There was a problem.
there was a problem. And so that's is what they come up with, so.
Okay.
Si je peux préciser, il y a un courriel qui a été envoyé aux commerçants de Lennoxville il y a de ça quelques jours pour justement poser un certain nombre de questions et puis qui interrogeait sur le mot Lennox, Mile, Lennox, blablabla. Donc, il y avait un certain nombre d'options, mais qui étaient envoyées par les gens d'entreprendre
Le sondage, c'est
un sondage, oui, oui, oui. Il y avait quelques options, donc je pense qu'ils attendaient de voir. Puis je pense qu'ils étaient à peu près, ce qu'ils m'ont mentionné, c'est que c'était à peu près une soixantaine de personnes, de commerçants, qui avaient été contactés par courriel. Et ils allaient voir les réponses dans les 2 prochaines semaines pour voir un petit peu comment les gens se positionnaient par rapport à ça. Mais effectivement, il y avait aussi la question de dire, quand ils veulent faire un changement, il y a plusieurs semaines de délai entre le moment où ils le demandent puis le moment où le changement est effectué. Mais il y avait quand même ce courriel-là qui a été envoyé aux commerçants. Puis je pense que ça fait 8 jours, en tout cas, ça fait quelques...
We were very specific at that meeting that it would be a good idea for them to check with the local businesses before they made any additional changes.
Right.
And
that's where the survey came up, I think, as a compromise, because we suggested a meeting, an evening meeting, so that people can come. But I think that's a compromise.
yeah, there's a lot brought up at that meeting. The fact that very seldom will someone that lives in Lennoxville use the word Lennox. People who do not live in Lennoxville use it all the time, but people who actually live here in Lennoxville do not use Lennox. We use Lennoxville. It's our town, that's how we call it. So I mentioned that to them, that it should be Momai Lennoxville, not, but there again, they decided they're gonna go to a survey, and then whatever is decided there for the business people, business community. Okay, but yeah, so we're waiting.
Okay, thanks.
Our job is done.
Any other questions?
My only other question is about like the lights coming on Queen Street this summer, I believe. The security lights at the crosswalk.
Oh, the MD lights.
Yeah,
Yes, we didn't have any
no,
feedback from that yet.
because I was thinking about it after, I hope that they're not putting the lights in, expecting to get rid of the crossing guards in the morning and the afternoon. It was bad enough that they took the crossing guards away at noon, because with the children in the higher levels in the elementary schools, I think it's grade 5 and 6 who can come down to the restaurant. And the crossing guards used to cross them so that they could go to McDonald's or wherever. But I hope that after these lights go up, that they don't take the crossing guards away completely in the morning and the afternoon, because I would hate to think of children walking to school without a crossing guard. Because even with lights, cars don't always stop. And I know that when they took the crossing guards away at noon hour, I know we weren't consulted here in the borough. But I hope that for something as serious as that, and with lights coming at College and Parkdale too, I hope that they don't think of the same thing. I mean, even on Saturday, I know no crossing guards or whatever, but there was another accident at that corner.
Do we have, I was wondering if we have statistics on accidents on that corner. Because they're supposed to, but it depends if they're declared the accidents or not there. But if I just want to recapitulate, your concern is that because you think there's smaller children that won't be able to use it. Is that what I'm hearing?
No, well, yeah. Children crossing Queen Street or College without a crossing guard that morning and in the afternoon, especially it's rush hour both times. I just hope that they're not expecting that after the lights are installed, that they don't take the crossing guards away completely.
Well, we can ask our services if that's the intention there. But still, as I've seen one in Sherbrooke, it's pretty obvious when you press on the button. It's like you can't miss it. But
I know, but I've seen cars go through the lights on
Yes.
College.
Yeah.
I mean, even when it's a red light and it's so evident, they still go through.
Yep. Danger, yes. Okay, so we'll bring that to our services and see what we get as feedback there.
Thank you.
Anything else? Non. Donc, il y avait 2 questions de Mme Garfett concernant les lumières que le MTMD, le ministère du Transport et de la Mobilité durable, ont l'intention d'installer sur la rue Queen et Collège. Mme Garfett est inquiète du fait que cette nouvelle signalisation va faire qu'on n'aura plus besoin de de garde pour traverser pour les enfants. Donc, c'est la question qu'on va apporter à nos services. On va voir quelle réponse on va avoir. Puis l'autre question qu'elle avait, c'est concernant notre fameux Explore Lennox, qui est devenu Mon Lennox et non My Lennox. Donc, on a expliqué qu'il y avait un délai pour ce changement-là, puis on attend d'avoir cette modification a été demandée, donc on attend que ça se mette en place. On croise les doigts pour ça. Bon, on va procéder avec notre agenda. Donc, on est rendu au point 3.1.1. Non, excusez. On est rendu au point 7.1.1, qui est le dépôt et suivi des interventions du Conseil d'arrondissement du 27 janvier d'arrondissement de Lennoxville. Donc, c'est le dépôt des interventions tel qu'on a en ce moment. Donc, c'est le dépôt de ce qu'on a eu comme intervention. So 7.1.1 is a tabling and follow-up of the interventions of the Borough Council meeting of January 27th for the Borough of Lennoxville. So it's just depositing tabling the information on that consent. 7.2.1. 7.2.1 is a financial and technical assistance for the development and management of the Square Queen, the pop-up park for the 2026 season. Donc, 7.2.1, c'est l'assistance financière technique, aménagement et gestion de la placette urbaine du Square Queen pour la saison 2026. Je vais peut-être dire un petit mot à celui-là. Donc, pour 2026, on veut poursuivre notre collaboration avec Entreprendre Sherbrooke pour maintenir notre Square Queen au coin de Queen et Samuel-Ratham. Donc, l'arrondissement prévoit un soutien au total de 18 950 $, donc une partie en une aide financière et une autre en service technique. Comme le terrain est privé, l'entreprise Sherbrooke devra conclure une entente avec les propriétaires. So for 2026, we want to continue our collaboration with Entrepreneur Sherbrooke to maintain our Square Queen at the corner of Queen and Samuel Gratham. The borough plans to provide a total of $18,950, partly as financial support and partly as technical services. Since the land is privately owned, Entrepreneur Sherbrooke will need to reach an agreement with the proprietor, the owners of the property. Donc, on va aller au 7.3.1, qui est la requête en circulation d'analyse et recommandations du service de l'ingénierie des eaux et des projets majeurs pour l'arrondissement de Lennoxville. So 7.3.1 is a request in circulation, analyze and recommendation for the service of l'ingénierie and the waterworks and the major projects for the borough of Lennoxville.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, some people had requested that a survey be made on Speed Street concerning some circulation and traffic looking too quick on Speed Street. So our services did some verifications, and they did a whole bunch of tests and stuff, and they come up with the resolution that they want to install on Speed Street. It doesn't say how many of them, but those, I don't know how to say anything.
Those bollards.
Those floppy signs that they install in the middle of the road, indicating to aim 40 kilometers an hour. And so install those, and also to inform the residents that who wish to install these signs. There's signs that are available that you can get at the borough office here that you can install on your own lawn to encourage people to slow down. So that is basically what come of this
Request.
What request? That's it. Yeah. Sur la rue Speed, il a été demandé de faire des analyses concernant la vitesse des véhicules sur la rue Speed. Alors, une analyse qui a été faite et la résolution qui a été faite. Une recommandation qui a été faite d'installer des volants sur d'installer des volants, mais ils ont mis un S. C'est que je vais payer mieux, c'est tout ce que 1. Il incite les gens à respecter le 40 km/h et on informe aussi la population que il y a des petites enseignes que vous pouvez mettre sur votre pelouse qui sont disponibles ici, à l'hôtel de ville.
Le bureau d'arrondissement.
Au bureau d'arrondissement.
L'hôtel de ville.
Ah oui, l'hôtel de ville, t'as sûr.
Parce que
Ça fait trop longtemps que je reste à la ville. C'est encore un hôtel de ville.
peut-être rajouter, je suis comme un plus record qui se répète tout le temps, que si jamais vous avez des besoins spécifiques, comme vous savez qu'une voiture qui passe à telle heure, à tel endroit, puis ils font de la vitesse, vous pouvez signaler à la police, puis ils vont faire une intervention, surtout si vous êtes capable de donner des précisions, comme entre 4 heures et 5 heures, il y a tout le temps quelqu'un qui passe, puis qui fait de la vitesse, donc ça peut aider aussi la situation. So I'll just add I repeat this all the time there, but it works. So if you see a specific situation where you see somebody speeding on the street, and it's always at the same time. For example, between 4 and 5 o'clock in the afternoon, there's always somebody speeding. Well, you can actually call the police, and we'll act on that. Because if you call the police and tell them they're speeding on my street, yeah, they'll go, but maybe not at the right time. So they'll say there's no speeding. But if you can really pinpoint the accurate information for the police, it helps also. So that's another way to mitigate the situation. Merci bien. Donc, on va se rendre au point 8.1, qui est la liste des travaux en immobilisation dans les parcs de l'arrondissement de Lennoxville, sur la cédule 6, qui est notre cédule, notre responsabilité d'arrondissement. So 8.1 is a list of capital works in Borough of Lennoxville parks. So our schedule 6. And that's one of our responsibilities as a city. And I'll just say, donc pour la 2026, l'arrondissement dispose d'un budget d'immobilisation de 74 000 $ pour les parcs. Les priorités ont été précisées pour le domaine Uplands. Donc, notre participation se limite à 4 éléments: enlever les blocs de béton dans la boisée, de refaire le sentier à partir de speed et hunting. Je parle des sentiers dans le boisé. Puis, installer des bases de béton pour les prochaines expositions, puis d'effectuer quelques plantations alentour, donc de la végétation. So for 2026, the borough has a budget of $74,000 for parks project. The priorities for the Uplands Museum grounds have been clarified. Our involvement is limited to 4 tasks: removing the concrete blocks in the wooded area that was for the old exposition, and repairing the path from speed and hunting, between speed and hunting, and installing the concrete base for the next exhibition, and some planting around them, some vegetation is going to be put in. And we had a project too for a covered pavilion, and that's still on. It's just going to be, we're going to accumulate money to be able to do that in the near future. Donc, il y avait aussi un projet qui était, c'est juste pour l'information, parce que ça a été une demande qui a été faite pour un préau, parce qu'en ce moment, il y a un préau temporaire qui paye quand même assez cher à toutes les années. C'est une location, mais on veut installer un préau permanent. Donc, ça, c'est une des tâches qui va se faire, mais dans le futur. Donc, on s'est rendu au point numéro 11, qui est le message des membres du Conseil de l'arrondissement. So we're up to point 11, which is messages from the Borough Council members. Monsieur Hubert.
Nothing new.
Pas de message. Well, I have a few. Tomorrow at 7 o'clock on February 25th is a St. Francis Valley Naturalist Club Amédée Baudouin event. Am I right, Jennifer? Okay, so I think everybody's welcome. So that's an opening for you guys. So donc le club des naturalistes demain à 7 heures au centre Amédée Baudouin, il y a un événement à 7 heures, c'est de rejoindre à ce club. Saturday on the 28th, the Masons are holding a bonds field at 9 o'clock to 2 o'clock in the PM at the Lennoxville Curling Club. And this is a fundraiser, so anybody wants to come, they take the funds and they give it to different organizations. So hamburgers and hot dogs will be served. So Everybody's welcome. So, donc, samedi le 28, les frères maçons ont un bonspiel de 9h à 2h de l'après-midi au club de curling de Lennoxville. Il va y avoir des hamburgers, des hot dogs. L'objectif, c'est pour faire une levée de fonds, donc c'est pour donner à des organismes. Donc, on invite tout le monde à participer, même à venir voir jouer, je vais jouer. C'est de voir de la petite misère. C'est pas si pire que ça. OK, March 12th to 14th, United Church Rummage Sale. Donc, du 12 au 14 mars, l'Église unie a une vente de débarras. Le 12, 13, 14 mars, de 7h30, 12, 13, 14 et 15 mars, jusqu'à 3h, l'Université Bishops, il y a une pièce de théâtre. Donc, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. Ça fait que ça devrait être intéressant. Donc, si vous voulez vous connecter sur le site web de l'Université Bishops. So, March 12th, 13th, 14th, and at 7:30, there's a play at Bishop's University, You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown. And March 15th, it's at 3 o'clock there. So, if you want to go online and buy your tickets for that. March 26th at 7 p.m., the l'AGA de Lambs, so the general meeting of Lambs at St. Andrew's Church. So that's March 26th at 7 o'clock. Donc le 26 mars à 7h. Donc l'AGA de Lambs à St. Andrew's. Donc Lambs, c'est Lennoxville Ascot Historical Museum Society. Right? Good. Et le 30 mars à 7h, Canada Reads. So does in Lennoxville. Ça, c'est la Hope Community Church au coin de College puis Queen. C'est quand même un bel gros événement. C'est très populaire. So March 30th at 7 p.m. Canada Reads and so does Lennoxville. And that's at HEC church there on the corner of the College and Queen. That's usually Jennifer's job. We did a lot. Thank you. So we're up to number 12, and that's adjournment. So on est rendu au point numéro 12, qui est la levée de l'Assemblée. Merci beaucoup de votre présence. Thank you for your presence. Bonne soirée à tous.